Now, once we have configured Maven, now let's see how we can start using Maven. So I'll go to Eclipse. Instead of creating this project as a simple Java project, what I'm gonna do, I'll right click over here, say new. Instead of selecting Java project, I'll click on project and I'll look for an option called as Maven. See, this is Maven. Click on Maven project, click on next. You're still creating a Java project, but now you're following some standard. Now, this is the standard that everyone in the industry follows, right? So create a simple project. Next, it will ask you for group ID. Now, group ID is your domain name. Let's say mine is waytoautomation.com. I'll say com.w2a in reverse order. Artifact ID is your project name. So project, I'll say Selenium testing. Click on finish. You're gonna see a Java project created, Selenium testing. Now your normal Java project has got a small j over here, but your Maven project has got M and J. If you open your normal project, you'll find SRC folder, JRE system library, and the external jars that you have manually added. But if you open this Maven project, you'll find an architecture something like this, along with one XML file. See, over here, JRE system library remains same, although it is showing the older version, but we don't need to worry about it right now. We can update it later on. If in case you want to update it, just right click over here, say go to build path, configure build path, select your Java, edit, alternate GREs, install GRE, select, edit, and give your Java home over here. That is through JDK. All these jars should come, see these classes, these are internal Java classes. These should come through JDK. Apply and close and see the latest one is added over here, right? Now we can see 4 source folders. These are not 4 source folder. This is only one source folder. And then if you go to the project root, say alt enter resource, your project path, open up your project, you'll see one source folder. There is only one source folder. Inside source, you have one main and one test. It is showing 2, but it is one main and one test. This is because you have one Java one resource in main and one Java one resource in test. Now anything related to the testing part will gonna come inside these test folders. These are also called as packages, right? Although it looks like folders over here, but these are packages. So anything related to testing, be it automation testing, be it unit testing, it will gonna come inside the test package. Anything related to development or the business logic will come inside the main package. Resources will gonna contain your Excel file, text file, XML file, properties file, anything which is not .java will come inside resource. Same thing goes for the main package. So since we are working on Selenium on automation, we'll be using these packages only, right? And then what I'll do, I'll right click, say new class, or I'll first create a package, new package, test cases. Now inside this src test Java, I can create another package like this, like I did it over here. And inside this, we have this class. I can copy and paste this class over here as well with the same content, right? With the same content, but we are getting errors. Why? Because we have included a jar file over here. The same jar file, we need to add it inside this project as well. So how to do it? Either right click, build path, add external archives, and go to your directory F drive, Selenium prerequest, jars, and add this. See, errors are gone. You got the reference library, but will not be doing it in this way. Will not be managing these things manually now. I'll go to configure build path library and remove this jar file. There will not be any manual addition of dependencies now. Jars are our dependencies. So how are you going to do that? Go to your pom.xml file. Maven runs through this pom.xml file. This is heart of Maven. You can see your project, group ID, artifact ID, version. Version is like once you compile this code, once you build this code, there will be a jar file generated out of your project as well, which will have a version 0.0.1. You can change this version as well. But this is the information of your project. Now this project is dependent on a third party project, that is Selenium. So what you can do, you can add something called as dependencies over here. What all dependencies, what all dependencies this project is dependent on, you need to provide it over here. It is dependent on Selenium. So go to Selenium website, say seleniumhq.org, go to download. Instead of downloading Selenium from here, go to Maven information. And you'll find same three things: group ID, see group ID, artifact ID is their project, Selenium Java, group ID is their domain, seleniumhq.org, Selenium, version is the current version, and this is the dependency. Copy, paste it over here, hit Control S. Within few seconds, you're gonna see it's showing something 32%, 36%, 46. Within few seconds, once it is done with 100%, you're gonna find all Selenium jars are added over here, right? And now what we're gonna do, we'll run this code again. We have already seen browser configuration, right? So I'm going to remove this part for the timing. Remove all these for the timing. Let's just pick up a basic browser. Chrome driver. Driver equal to new Chrome driver. Remove constructor, give it Chrome driver. Give this as Chrome driver. Import. Save and run this, and let's see if Chrome browser launches. See, Chrome browser launches, that navigates to way2automation.com. It is navigating. Some slowness in the network, but it is actually navigating to way2automation. Let's wait for a few seconds. See, it navigated to way2automation, right? Now you have seen I have just added a dependency over here for Selenium. Now dependency, I can download it from Selenium website. If I don't want to download it from here, there's one centralized repository where all third party projects, they check in their jar files. If you go to Maven repository, this is a centralized repository, Maven repository. Search for Selenium. You get Selenium Java. See the last version, released on November 2018. If you go down, you'll see Selenium 2, launched in July 2011. This was a release candidate. This was the second version, right? You can download any of these jar files. If you click over here, you'll get a jar file from here. Instead of jar file, download this Maven dependency 3.141.59. Copy and paste it to your pom.xml like this. We have already did it, right? Same way, instead of this, if you want something like MySQL, MySQL. Over here, 8.0.13, copy, paste. Control Shift F will align it. Control S will save it. And if you go over here, you will see MySQL added, right? Apart from 2.4, 14.59, if you want to go to any previous version, let's say I want to go to 2.53.1, I need not to search for any jar file. I'll simply change the version over here, wait for a few seconds, and you're going to see all the jars are changed to 2.53.1, right? So many jars added within few seconds. If in case you want to use log4j, just go over here, search for log4j. Go to this, go to the latest one, copy, paste, Control Shift F, save. Go over here, you'll see log4j added. So how fast these jars are being added? Is it some magic going on or what? How fast these jars are being downloaded, right? If I change it to 3 dot some version, you'll find that version is added over here. So how these things are working? Basically, when you configure Maven for the very first time, you download a dependency, you add a dependency over here. The jars will not automatically gonna get synced. It will take some time. And Maven create a local repository on your C drive, users, way to automation, your profile name, and .m2 folders. If you go C drive, users, this .m2, you will see a repository folder. This is the local repository created by Maven. If you open this, you'll find all the projects over here. These are different projects, and with Selenium is org, Selenium HQ, it's Selenium HQ, Selenium, Selenium Java. And see, these all versions are already there on my machine. If I switch in between any of these versions, apart from 2.53.1, if I do 2.53.0, within few seconds, you'll see that 2.53 changed to 2.53.0, right? So if the jars are already synced on my local machine, Maven will first look for the jars from here. If not, let's say 2.50 is there, but if I search for Selenium, any previous version, let's say 2.49.0, 2.49.0, it's not there, right? So what I'll do, I'll change this to 2.49.0 and hit save. Now you're gonna see it is downloading from Maven centralized repository. It will not get synced immediately, right? If you look over here, still 2.53.0. Till the time 2.49 is not fully downloaded, these jars will not be updated, right? So this is what the beauty of Maven is. Now you just need to provide the information in a form of a XML file, right? You need not to manually download these jar files. You're just providing these XML tags. At the end of the day, when you are checking in the code, see, when we check in the code, we check in only the coding part. See, all these are now changed to 2.49.0. But we don't check in the jar files, right? Jar files are in MBs. Coding is just in KBs. We check in the code because we can merge the code as well. We cannot merge the jar files, right? In any centralized repository, you only check in the coding part. You don't check in the jar file. What all coding you have done in a day, you check in that coding. So while checking in the project code, you just check this pom.xml file, right? Let's say tester A is done with all the testing and he has checked in the pom.xml file with all updated dependencies. Next day, when all testers will gonna download the updated code, they'll get this pom.xml file which has got all latest dependencies. And once they compile the code, all the jars will automatically gonna get synced to their machine with all the latest version mentioned in pom.xml. So they need not to go to different websites and download all these jars manually. This is what the beauty of using a dependency management tool, that is Maven, right? So if you want to work on the latest version of Selenium, just look for the latest jar file from here, copy dependency, and paste it over here. Control Shift F, align it properly, Control S, save it, and you will see all the latest jars are synced. Right, at this time you don't want to use log4j, remove it. Don't want to use MySQL, remove it. What all jars you want to include, save that, and rest all will be removed from your project. Right. So these things are automatically managed. Now, Maven is not the only dependency management tool. There's Gradle as well. There is Grape as well. N number of tools are there, but very widely used is Maven. Then after that, there are some projects which are using Gradle as well. Right. So, but we'll be focusing more on Maven because Maven, 75% of the companies are using Maven. Gradle is a wrapper over Maven. Right. So same thing you can do with Gradle as well. But right now we'll focus on Maven. So this is how we have managed our dependencies. In the next lecture, I'm going to show you how we can manage our browser executables as well. As in, we were adding browser executables, like we downloaded couple of executables for Chrome, Gecko, IE, Microsoft, Edge, Opera, right? All these things manually. And at times when a new browser is upgraded, we need to again manually download all these things. So what about if a team of 100 testers are working and a browser is upgraded? So everyone will start downloading the latest executable files. So we can automate that part as well. How? That we're going to look in the next lecture. All right. Thank you.